This lesson will investigate the machine and control definitions, as well as explore the differences between the file copy and the local copy of the machine and control definitions. To start, let's review that earlier in this course we selected the mill default machine. As a result, it's located here in the operations manager of this current Mastercam file. When we originally selected that machine, Mastercam made a local copy of it and added it to this file. This local copy is different than the disk copy. This is important to note because when you make changes to the machine groups, you'll either be doing it in the local copy or the disk copy. Let's go through an example of how this works. I'll start by going to the Properties section of the machine I previously selected and click Files. Under the Machine Toolpath group, I'll select Edit. Again, this edits the local or file copy of the machine that is contained within this Mastercam file. If I navigate deeper and go into the Mill Spindle group and all the way down to the Tool Spindle, you can see that I can double-click on the tool spindle and make changes. Here, let's make the maximum tool spindle speed something very small, say 500. I know this is unrealistic, but I want to be drastic so we can see the difference. If I click OK and continue to get out of my dialog boxes, my local copy of my machine group has been updated. As a result, if I was to create a toolpath right now and type in the spindle speed of 1000 RPM, it would inform me that it's faster than the maximum spindle speed of this machine. However, the change I just made is specific for this Mastercam file. If I was to open up a new file and choose the same mill default machine, that disk copy still has a 50,000 RPM spindle limit. So, in order to make a change that will stick for all future instances when you select this machine, we need to modify the disk copy. We'll do that here by selecting the machine definition from the Job Setup group under the Machine tab. I'll select the same machine, the mill default, and then navigate to that same spindle setting. Let's update this spindle speed to 20,000 RPM. Since the machine definition file that I'm currently using in this Mastercam file is the same mill default, it's actually asking me here if I want to replace it with the changes I made. I'll say yes here, so that 20,000 RPM spindle speed that I made a change to in the disk copy will also be updated here in my local copy. Another way to look at this is if you had a machine with a certain number of tools, maximum travel limits, and a spindle speed that you wanted to set, you would do it here in the disk copy. That way, whenever you program something in the future, you're grabbing a machine that was set up properly. If you make the change here, you're only doing it for this Mastercam session. Now that we've explored a little bit about the difference between the disk and the file copy, let's explore the machine definition a little bit in detail. As you can see, you can change things such as spindle speed, post-processor, the control definition, and even specifics about the tool changer. As an example, let's go into the tool changer and change the number of tool pockets to 12. Now, just to reiterate, since we did it in our file copy here, we're not changing the disk copy. We can also go into the control definition from here. For example, we can adjust the tolerance, some of the NC output, and how the linear motion acts with this machine. Since modification of these values can impact your G-code, I do recommend that you work with your local reseller if you want to make drastic changes. If nothing else, I recommend that you make small changes one at a time and that you do it in your local copy here to test the output. If you like what you see, then you can consider changing it in the disk copy. As you can see, the machine and control definitions play a vital role in the output of your G-code. It's important to select the correct one when programming so your output G-code is as expected.